But first this hour, a terrifying new reason for all of us to be potentially very worried about U.S. tensions with Iran. The chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee and other U.S. officials are now warning that Iran has a large terrorist-trained force right here in the United States right now. They say there may be hundreds, maybe even thousands of Hezbollah agents on American soil who could be ready and willing to attack. Brian Todd has been following this hearing up on Capitol Hill. He's watching what's going on. Pretty shocking information. If true, Brian, what is happening?
Well, very startling testimony in Congress today, Wolf. Current and former law enforcement intelligence officials saying that many of Hezbollah's operatives have been in the U.S. for years, blending in, making a lot of money. A perfect resource for Iran if it's attacked and wants a quick counterstrike on the U.S. homeland. It's called Iran's A-team of terrorism. Hezbollah, a militant group that's killed more Americans than any other except al-Qaeda. With concerns about how Iran might retaliate if Israel bombs its nuclear installations, current and former law enforcement and intelligence officials tell Congress they've got new worries that Iran can tap into Hezbollah sympathizers and operatives who've been in the U.S. for years, lying low, and have them strike on U.S. soil.
Their sophistication, presence, and deep entrenchment in American society and business has the potential to provide a platform to support a more lethal capability that should be of concern to all Americans.
The experts told a House panel Hezbollah could have hundreds of operatives inside the U.S. in dozens of cities. They say the operatives take part in legitimate businesses, but also engage in drug running, cigarette smuggling, and money laundering, using fronts like restaurants. One recent case, which CNN reported on, showed their sophistication.
There were over 70 used car dealerships that were identified as part of the money laundering scheme for laundering the hundreds of millions of dollars of cocaine-generated revenue, much of which was tracked back to Hezbollah.
These experts say if provoked, Iran and Hezbollah have the capability of hatching a plot at any moment inside the U.S. I spoke with former FBI Assistant Director Tom Fuentes, a CNN contributor, about that. That doesn't necessarily translate to an attack on the U.S. homeland, right?
Correct. It means that they could do it if they wanted to, but there's really no good reason to do it, and many reasons from their point of view not to do it.
Why not?
And one of them is the United States is a cash cow for them. Why kill it? Why cut off the funding stream that they've gotten very good at conducting criminal activity here, smuggling activities, other schemes and scams.
One expert pointed out Hezbollah has never carried out an attack inside the United States, but the FBI says they have staked out potential targets in this country, Wolf. Very worrying.
What kind of cases have U.S. law enforcement authorities actually been able to build against these potential Hezbollah operatives in the United States?
One law enforcement official tells CNN the cases they've been able to build against them involve things like fundraising, attempts to buy weapons, but no actual plots. But still, it's really their infrastructure in the United States that scares people. They have people involved in businesses here, many of which seem legitimate, some that are legitimate. They're able to raise money quickly, funnel it back to Hezbollah. These are the people who they could employ to buy weapons quickly and strike somehow in the United States.
And this was a hearing that Congressman Peter King, the chairman of this committee, held, and he had current officials also there?
That's right. He had at least one current New York Police Department counterterrorism official there and several former FBI and other officials there. It was startling testimony. These are people who have followed these cases very quickly. They know about Hezbollah in the United States.
Because this used car dealership issue is something that came up, as you well remember, with the alleged Iranian assassination plot of the Saudi ambassador here in Washington. The man accused of that was involved in a used car dealership.
That's right. And we reported in December. They've used car dealerships. There was one criminal complaint back in December, just after that plot was announced, that detailed a very sophisticated operation involving drug running, the proceeds from drug running funneling through this used car dealership and funneling some of that money back to Hezbollah. The sophistication is almost breathtaking that these guys have.
What a story. All right, Brian, thanks very much. Stay on top of it for us, okay? Thank you. Now to that standoff with a terrorist suspect that's unfolding right now. The man claims responsibility for the deadly shooting sprees in France. He's been holed up in an apartment now for more than 8